few weeks back, I came upon a gathering of information that would possibly be classified as a poll that was taken by something called the Pew Forum on Religious and Public Life. And as there were many things that were listed in this observation that was made, I thought it was very interesting that there were, in fact, 35,000 different American adults that were surveyed. And that's a little bit more than oftentimes is taken with a public opinion poll relative to who you want to be President of the United States of America, believe it or not. Or are we a country that is supportive of homosexual rights to the extent of giving them the ability to adopt children? Or how about, is abortion really the taking of innocent human life? Yes, friends, those questions oftentimes are pictured and polled, but not near this number is polled, and we're supposedly supposed to believe this is the way the country is now thinking. So when I saw a poll that was taken that 35,000 people were indeed questioned, then it caught my eye, to say the least. And in this poll, it was interesting for another reason, and that is, in this poll that was taken, it was observed that 44% of those who were polled, who were still religious, had left the denomination that they had grown up in. Now, I dare say that there was a period of time in which the numbers there would not be that near high. That the percentage would be a whole lot less than that. So I began to think about that, and I let that sort of set in my mind, and I thought, and I thought, and I thought, and I pulled it over a pile, and I thought a little more, and thought a little more. And then it finally dawned on me that I think I've got a pretty good explanation as to why this is the way it is in, say, the year 2010. I'm convinced that one of the reasons why something like this can happen now and that didn't happen in times past is because of something that I'll refer to as, because everybody else does too, consumerism. And all of us fit into that category in some way or fashion. I mean, how many of us have been led to believe that if we just buy some more expensive stuff to put on our toast, then we won't have clogged arteries, that we won't have heart disease, that our blood pressure will go down, and if we, in addition to that, eat for the first time in many, many years some of those oatmeal circles, Cheerios, then that'll also make our blood pressure go. Well, how do we arrive at a conclusion like that? It's because of consumerism. It's because we live in a society in which we're constantly bombarded with things that are supposedly good for us, things that we need, things that we need to get shed of, and on and on and on. It's consumerism. And of course, it's because of the mass media that we're bombarded with on a daily basis. Do you know there used to be a period of time that the only way that you knew what was on sale at the grocery store was to go to the grocery store? Now you can have your whole list made out before you even go. And you know what you're going to be paying for it, because you've got it not only in a circular that comes in the mail, but you can find it on the television, you can find it on the internet, and in many other different ways. So I'm convinced that one of the reasons is consumerism. And there's another interesting addition to a reasoning process that I'm convinced too. And it's because we live in a period of time that people tell us is a postmodern world. Now that word post, again, we're not advertising for cereal right here. Post means after. And so you can see clearly that when we're talking about something being postmodern, we're talking about something being after modern or after modernism. Now, it's according to who you talk to as to what these words sometimes mean. But generally speaking, modernism was the period of time in the last 200 years or so in which people actually started giving credit to scientific truth and it being objective. It's a certain amount of miles to the moon. It's not how you feel about how far is the moon. There's actually a number that is attached to that. There's so many ounces in a pound. Now, you may not like it, and you might think that if there were more ounces in a pound, then you'd weigh a whole lot less. But no, standards tell us that there's a certain amount of objective things that cannot be gainsaid in the world in which we live. Now, if we're talking about a postmodern world, then we're talking about a period of time in which people are not going to be bogged down with objectivity anymore. They don't like stuff that's black and white, that's either right or wrong, that's either true or false. Now, if you start putting together then this idea of postmodernism and getting away from